Golf, baseball, softball, fitness, soccer, you name it, Play It Again Sports in Grand Island has got it. Stop by to buy, sell, or trade used fitness equipment. Trade in and trade up at Play It Again Sports.
Welcome to End Zone Online. George Ayoub with theindependent.com. Bobby Mills, the 1,000-yard guy.
Yes,
we're going to talk a little high school football as the playoffs have arrived.
The holy season.
Yeah, our broadcast is brought to you by Play It Again Sports. You'll hear from them in just a minute. So let's start right away with Class A. The Islanders, a 6th seed, a little higher than I thought. I thought they might slip in there at the 5, but you know, the last night, the way the numbers were crunched.
Pretty tough to predict, but that's a good seed.
Yeah, it's a good seed. They're going to meet Bellevue West. Got a home game. Earned that with their 8-1 record. They beat the Lynx from Lincoln High, 51-21. Friday night. Rob Misek and I covered that game, and you know, the Lynx gave them a pretty good ball game in the first half, but then once the Islanders got up by 10, it was Katie bar the door. They just really couldn't do anything afterwards.
They might have had a little discussion at halftime considering the 14 all tie, huh?
Right, yeah. And, well, it was 17-14.
Was it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they got a late field goal, but, you know, the fact of the matter is that, you know, Lincoln High kind of stymied them with that almost single wing offense.
I didn't realize
they kept running into the line, and they broke a couple, and so the Islanders face a Bellevue West team that's you know, they're 3 plays from being undefeated, really, and lost to Burke in the last game of the year. So what do you think then of that matchup?
To me, I hate to say the worst draw they could have gotten, but to me it's the most dangerous draw they could have had. You know, they're a quick strike offense. You just not too much of a rushing game, but those wide receivers are excellent. But I think they're going to have to outscore them to beat them. I mean, maybe 40-38 like the Burke game. And if they do hold them down, there's no question in my mind if they hold them under 20 points, they'll beat them. But I don't know if anybody has.
Yeah, I don't think they
But it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, and the Islanders have a high-flying offense, but balanced.
Yes.
With the run and the pass.
And Bell West isn't the king of the defense either.
So, yeah, we could see a lot of points. Should be a great high school football game.
I think I'm going to go to that one. I don't want to miss that.
Yeah, it'll be a terrific one. The number 1 seed is Millard West. You know, everybody loves Omaha North. They came in at the 2nd seed. They lost this year. To Bellevue West. So
I said it quietly.
Yeah, so they are on the same side of the bracket as the Islanders. So,
you know, if you want, you know as well as I do, if you want to progress through the bracket, you've got to beat the best.
You got to beat everybody. So
what the heck?
Yeah, you know, you look at those games, you got to win them all. So
yeah.
Class B, Aurora, you know, they are a 6th seed. Like the Islanders, they're going to play Plattsmouth. I know nothing about Plattsmouth. They're 11 seed. They're 6-3 on the year. Do you have any details about
They've got a good running back, too. Your 1,000-yarder, Brandon Pick. I think he's up to, well, he just broke it, but last year had a bunch of yards. They haven't played near the schedule Aurora has, but of course Aurora can't be looking ahead. This is a playoff, so I think that's a good draw for the Huskies. I really do. And coming off that loss to York,
and it's a home game.
It's a home game, exactly.
Of course, the Dukes went to Aurora last week and you know, really put a beat down on them.
What a fine football team!
So York playing again as they did last year, playing well at the right time of the year.
They are. They keep peaking.
Our friends at Grand Island Northwest lost to Columbus in the Class B teams, 62-45 in a
8-man score.
Yeah, really a track meet. Finished the season at 1-8. You know, a lot of young kids, a lot of experience. You know, Coach Stein's going to have them back next year, and I'm sure they're going to be you know, raring to go.
Well, I'm looking forward to the future out there. They took their lumps this year, but they were young.
Yeah, they were young, and so we go to C1, and of course the Central Catholic local team who lost to Boone Central, Newman Grove. On Thursday, they lost 35-7. They jumped out to a 7-0 lead, and and then Boone Central acted like Boone Central, and won. But they drew, so they're a 12 seed. They draw Broken Bow, and they're going to travel to Broken Bow. Have you seen Broken Bow this year?
On film, I have. Mike Garner's a great coach up there, and they're peaking at the right time. But I think it's a good draw. I mean, you obviously don't want to go to Pierce, Norfolk Catholic, or Boone Central. Again. But I think Central Catholic, I like that matchup for them. I think it'll be a terrific football game.
Interestingly enough, of course, in C1, they divide between East and West, and the East number 1 seed is Syracuse, and the West number 1 seed is Cozad. So Boone Central is at the bottom of that bracket, and they are the 2 seed. Other area teams, Ord's a 10 seed, Adams Central, who I've seen play, very good football team, playing very good football at this time of year. They're a 6, and Gibbon is a 14. Adams Central plays Kearney Catholic. That'll be a terrific matchup.
Oh, my goodness.
As an opening round game in C1.
Oh, yeah, that will be okay. Yeah, that'll be a tough matchup. Kearney Catholic's always tough. They're going to give you a tough game.
Yeah, so. Oh, I'm sorry. I have that wrong. Adams Central is Shadron. I apologize.
Oh, that's right.
Kearney Catholic has a home game against Ord.
Yeah, I'm going to that one. That's right. It's a 1 o'clocker.
1 o'clock game.
And Shadron has a very good football team. That might be a big test.
That's a pretty tough matchup. Yeah, I read that wrong. I apologize.
Oh, no problem. That's Kearney Catholic and Ord have met already, and you just hate to see that. But it is what it is.
So after the break, we're going to talk about C2 and the Ds and Player of the Week. So we'll be right back after these messages from Play It Again Sports.
Do you want to trade in your used fitness or sports equipment? How about sports apparel? All your answers are at Play It Again Sports in Grand Island, where you can trade in and trade up at Play It Again Sports.
All right, we're back. George Ayoub and Bobby Mills. This is End Zone Online from theindependent.com. We're talking playoff football. We're to C2 now, where Donovan Trumbull has the #1 seed in the West bracket. And on the other side of the bracket, Omaha Brownell Talbot, I know nothing about them. But area teams, all our area teams obviously are in the West bracket. Donovan Trumbull, they're going to play Centura, another area team. Centura got in at 4-4. Sutton's Hastings St. Cecilia is a 6. Blue Hill is a 5. Sutton is a 7. And as we mentioned, Centura is the 16th seed on that side. So, Sutton drew Southern Valley. That's going to be.
Sometimes they play you pretty tough. Well, they will play you tough. Yeah.
And Hastings St. Cecilia is playing Thayer Central,
whom they just played.
And they just played that. It's one of those odd things, and you really hope that they could get past that. But
I know.
Blue Hill's going to strap it on against Kimball,
who's a lot better than a year ago.
Yeah, and Kimball comes in at 4-4. Blue Hill's 7-1, by the way, so has a nice team. What are your thoughts on C2?
But did you notice how loaded the West brackets are in C1 and C2? My goodness, I'm telling you, they are just loaded. I kept looking.
The West bracket has all the, not all of them, but obviously many of the top teams.
And that's just the way it falls sometimes when they divide those lines. And I thought in C1, Norfolk Catholic and Pierce one would go east and one west. Not so. No, but as we've mentioned before, you got to get through it if you want to get to Lincoln. So. Right. Donovan Trumbull looking good, don't you think?
Yeah, they're looking good. Not too many chinks in the armor.
No, injuries are minimal, so they're ready to roll.
I think they're ready to roll. So that's they're looking good there. So we're going to go to the Class D in D1. Again, they divide the east and west. We should mention before we go there that Heartland Lutheran lost to Spalding Academy 72-14. Finished an 0-8 season, tough record. Their opponents were 40-24 on the season. They only played one team that had a losing record.
That's pretty tough. Yeah, I watched some film on them, and those kids never give up.
Yeah, they play hard.
So that's, and they're also young, so we're going to, hope that future's good for them.
So our friends in D1, Palmer is a 8 seed, and they play Sutherland.
That is going to
be a great football game, right?
Man.
That'll be a good one.
That will be a good one. Sutherland, had that horrible losing streak. They broke it, and now they're just going like that. That'll be a great game.
It'll be a great game. Burwell and Nebraska Christian, 2 area teams, they're going to play at 7 o'clock at Burwell. Burwell's the 7, Christian's the 10 seed.
Another good game. Should
be another good game. Yep. Burwell really plays high-flying offense up there.
Yeah, we just like basketball. You can see that athleticism there.
Yeah, and we've done basketball games, and they're fun to watch. So
yes, sir.
Same way on the football field. So, and that's a Thursday game.
Yep.
That one. Then to D2, and again, area teams are pretty well represented here. We have 3 Mullen. With a 5-3 record, they're going to play Anselmo Myrna, which right down the road.
I know.
Really, one of the things about when you divide the East and the West, you can end up playing your neighbor.
I know.
Right there.
That
Anselmo Myrna comes in at 6-2, 6-2. Mullen's the 11, Anselmo's the 6. That's a Thursday game on Halloween. Shelton, who really has had a terrific year.
They had that injuries that one game, when they lost 40-0 to Amherst, but everything's okay now. So there
are 2. They're going to play Sandhills, and then our friends, the defending champions, Giltner, they're playing Lawrence Nelson.
that'll be the toughest test besides BDS. I think the Hornets have had all year.
Right.
Lawrence Nelson's a good
football team. They come in 6-2. They're an 11 seed. You know, again, the seeding is interesting here. Nebraska Lutheran's 8-0, and they're a 3 seed. Giltner is a 6 seed, and that seems a little high.
It does. It does.
And maybe we're a little biased because they're from our area and we know them. But gosh, after that opening loss of the season, they just plowed through their opponents.
Looked exactly the same as they did a year ago to me, but we'll see. That's why they do these things, George.
Okay, so we're going to put you on the spot here. Who do you like in Class A?
That's a tough one. I kind of want Millard West to do it, but I don't think they have a running game. I'm worried about their running game. I'm going to go with Omaha North.
All right.
I'm going to, I think, wouldn't it be neat if North and West Side would meet? I would like that matchup.
I'm agreeing with you on that one. How about Class B? Gretna is the #1 seed. Scott's #2.
I think Gretna's going to win it.
Okay.
Boy, they are tough, and they've got a University of Nebraska recruit that's out for the season, and they're still rolling.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take Scott. All right. I'm marking these down.
Boy, do I like their coach.
Yeah, I'm going to take Scott. Class C1, I'm going to go first. I'm taking Boone Central. And I know who you're taking.
Yeah,
you're taking Cozad.
No, I'll take Boone.
Two
Jake Paulson,
Boones.
I apologize. I love you dearly, but
2 Boones for
yeah, I'd like to see
C2.
Cozad.
Oh, we're going to agree on this one probably too, huh?
I'm going to take Donovan Trumbull.
Yeah,
I think.
me too.
Yeah.
I am too. I should mention that on the other side of the bracket, Brownell Talbot is 8-0,
Yep.
undefeated, but we're both going with
The Cardinals.
the Cards. D1.
That's going to be interesting.
The two #1 seeds are BDS and Overton. I'm going with BDS.
I'm going to go with Exeter Milligan's in there, aren't they?
Yep.
I'm going to go with Exeter Milligan. If
A 5 seed. This guy's living on the edge.
they are, yeah, and I'd like to say Howells Dodge, but I'm not sure about. I'm going to go with Exeter Milligan. They unless they.
Okay.
Sometimes those starters don't get to play much in the second half,
That's
and
right.
that can hurt you when playoff time.
right.
You've said that a
Yeah,
million times.
Right.
So.
Well, and it's a conditioning issue.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
conditioning,
They weren't in the shape that we were in high school.
Oh yeah, and it's not just the running. I think it's the if you play a half and you get hit for half of football and you get used to that. I mean, contact throughout the entire game really wears on you. So
From a good team, no less.
yeah, right. So D2, I'm gonna.
Oh,
The #1 seeds Wallace in the West
That
and
would be
Falls
great.
City Sacred Heart in the East.
I don't think. I might have to let you go first on
Okay.
that.
And by the way, Giltner is in the East on this.
Oh, Giltner. I'm
Yeah,
going to go with Giltner.
yeah.
I'm still going to go with the Hornets.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go there. I like the defending champions. I like Shelton a little bit as
I
a
do
dark
too.
horse, but Wallace is a good team. So we're both going with Giltner.
I like Jeff Ashby. I think he's a wise guy.
We're going to give our last player of the year. We don't do it during the playoffs because not everybody plays, obviously. So player of the week this week is
Christian Ellsworth, Grand Island. Well, pardon me, no Grand Island on that one. Just Northwest. 22 of 38 for 284 yards and 5 touchdown passes. 111 yards rushing, 18 carries, and most of that came on a comeback. I think Northwest was behind by a substantial margin.
they were. Mm-hmm.
So, he keyed that comeback, and they didn't beat him, but by golly, they made a good run at it.
Yeah.
And this kid, is only a sophomore, and you know how young they are, so he has records written all over him for passing yardage.
So we'll get a certificate and a framed certificate out to Christian at Northwest High School as our player of the week. So we will be here through the playoffs. We'll see how we're doing next week. We'll hope have all our picks are still
Hope
in.
so.
Yeah, we don't want the upset. So get out to a high school football game this week. It's going to be great football throughout the state. For Bobby Mills, I'm George Ayoub. This has been End Zone Online. Appreciate Elisa Reitz behind the camera. This is theindependent.com.
Golf, baseball, softball, fitness, soccer, you name it, Platigan Sports in Grand Island has got it. Stop by to buy, sell, or trade used fitness equipment. Trade in and trade up at Platigan Sports.